This is really important what I'm going to say. Okay, so for this to make sense, okay, we got to understand the definition of two words. You got empathy and you got sympathy, okay? So sympathy, guys, is the feelings of pity and sorry for someone else's misfortune, okay? Feeling sorry for someone. Women are capable of this. Empathy, however, is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Women lack this. One more time.
What's going on, everybody? This is Eddie, the African Red Pill. In today's video, what are we talking about? We're talking about if females, women, have got empathy or sympathy, or if they've got one of them, either one of them, or both of them. Let's get into it. Empathy simply means the ability to understand somebody. It simply means you putting yourself in somebody else's shoes so that you can understand what they're going through, or if you can relate. Yeah, so what is sympathy? Sympathy is simply feeling pity or sorrow for somebody else's misfortune. So there's a big difference between the two. So I'm going to agree with anybody who's going to say that women have got sympathy but they lack empathy for people. Let's let Myron Gaines elaborate, and let's give him a chance to rant about it, because I totally agree with his rant here. Check it out.
We got to understand the definition of two words. You got empathy and you got sympathy, okay? So sympathy, guys, is the feelings of pity and sorry for someone else's misfortune, okay? Feeling sorry for someone. Women are capable of this. Empathy, however, is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Women lack this. One more time. Women can feel sympathy, which is feelings of pity and sorrow for someone else's misfortune. However, they lack empathy, which is what? The ability to understand and share the feelings of another. If there's one thing that I've learned from doing this podcast and interviewing well over 1,000 women at this point, and one striking resemblance upon all the women's worldviews is they all don't know, don't understand, and most importantly, don't give a fuck about your experience as a fucking man. They do not care, okay? Because when we tell them the male experience, not only do they not care, they argue against it, say you should like this instead of liking that. Why is it like this? That's fucked up, etc. Instead of understanding, they challenge it and say, why can't you look at the world through my worldview? So when I say something along the lines of, why the fuck should a man accept a woman that's masculine, hyper-aggressive, assertive, dominant, etc.? Their stupid ass response is, well, this is how it is. Like, why are you so insecure? Why can't you accept a girl that gets her bag and whatever? Are you challenged by that? Are you threatened? Oh, why can't you accept a girl that has a 200 body count and fucks more than you do? Are you threatened? Are you insecure about it? Where does this all come from? It comes from their lack of ability to have empathy and understand the male experience, what men want, and they don't give a fuck, guys. So if there's one thing you guys could take away from female nature to understand in 2022, especially where we live in a gynocentric social order, as Rollo says, and where women come first and men come second, it's they don't know your experience, they don't understand your experience, and most importantly, they don't give a fuck about your experience.
They don't share the experience.
They don't care.
Let's Rollo Tomasi, the godfather of the red pill himself, give his take about it. There's no better person to do it than him. Check it out.
They don't give a fuck about your experience.
They don't share the experience.
They don't care.
Yeah, let me try to simplify this a little. Have you ever broken a bone? Have you ever broken any bone in your body before?
Fracture.
Fracture? Yeah. Any kind of, what'd you break?
Wrist for motorcycle accident.
Really? Damn. Did you ever break a bone?
One time, pinky.
Your pinky bone. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have broken like my ankle. Actually I had a dancer's fracture at one point. It was from dancing or anything like that. But I've broken a bone before. So when you, like right now, you just said, oh, I broke my wrist. I can sort of, I can empathize with that because I have broken a bone before and I know what the pain feels like when you break that bone. Yeah. So that is empathizing. I can share that feeling because I've gone through that, a similar or if I broke my wrist, I've gone through exactly the same thing. That's empathy. If I have never broken a bone in my body and you have, I can be sympathetic, but I cannot be empathetic with you because I've never gone through that experience as well. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And the problem is that we think, and we have been taught from a very early age, and really this comes with, you know, gynocentric social order, we have been taught that women are magically, metaphysically, supernaturally able to feel empathy for anyone or anything.
Couldn't be further from
and
the truth.
Honestly, I think that puts an undue burden on women, because they're expected to be able to say, oh, you broke a bone, I broke a bone, and therefore I can understand and be empathetic with what you are. She can be sympathetic, but if she's never broken her bone before, she can't be, oh, I have some magical spiritual reason, you know, I'm vibing, right? I feel like I could be empathetic with your fracture. No, you can't, because you don't share that, so you don't have a similar experience to relate that empathy to. That's the difference between empathy and sympathy.
Yes, and
I totally agree with Myron. I totally agree with Rollo. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. I follow these guys, I look up to them. I hope I can replicate what they've done, the success. I love the red pill to grow in Africa. Yeah, shout out to you guys. So I totally agree with what they're saying about empathy and sympathy. Women totally lack empathy. Anyways, let me not even waste time here. I totally agree 100 with what Myron again said. Women can have sympathy for you, but the moment women have sympathy for you, that's the moment they lose attraction. By attraction, I mean sexual attraction. Yeah. You can be in the friend zone, but you can never be in her pants if she has sympathy for you.
That's the difference between empathy and sympathy.
yes, and I want people to understand that they're two different words. That's why I defined it twice for y'all. The other thing too, I want to say, men must be empathetic. You want to know why? Because we have to be the ones to go out there and get the fucking girls. So if you're gonna go ahead, any guy that's good with women is a step ahead of what she's thinking, or has a pre-planned modus operandi as far as like what she's gonna do, and they're ready to handle objections. Because to be good with women, you must understand how they think, you must understand how they operate, and most importantly, you must be empathetic to their experience so that you can go ahead and deal with objections that come down the road when you deal with women. Last minute resistance, meeting you in a public place, walking her to different places, etc. This all requires empathy from a male perspective. Guess what, motherfuckers? Women don't have to be empathetic about you because you're the one going after them. So they have the privilege of not having to know and or understand you as a man. Now, does this hurt women late down the road? Yes, it does, because this is why most of these bitches can't keep a nigga around. That's the truth, because they lack empathy. But it doesn't matter, because you have to be the one empathetic in the beginning to even get the fucking girl. So once you get the girl, it's on her to become empathetic and figure out your experience and how to keep you. Most girls are not capable of doing that. We have the stats to show it. More women are single today than ever before. Why? Because we live in a gynocentric social order where women are told you're sugar and spice and everything nice. You don't have to self-improve. Men need to accept you however you come. Let me get a career. Let me be fat. Let me be obnoxious. Let me be assertive. Let me be masculine. Let me talk and act like a fucking nigga. Suck my dick. They are taught to be accepted no matter how they behave. So they don't have to be empathetic, because no matter what, some simp is going to come down the road, still hit on them, get the box, and then eventually leave them after they realize, oh, this bitch can't even identify with me. Fuck this shit. But it doesn't matter, because they've gotten what they wanted. They've gotten attention, guys. It's fleeting. This is why girls don't get hit with this knowledge until they're 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, when they don't get the same level of attention. So my thing is this, to bring this all full circle. Women don't have to be empathetic to your experience, because they're going to get attention no matter what the fuck they do, because they're in a privileged position where they're being pursued. So don't expect them to understand your experience. A lot of you guys think, man, they're logical and rational. They'll be able to understand. No, they're going to feel sympathy for you. And guess what? Sympathy and arousal cannot coexist. One more time for you motherfuckers.
Anti-seductive.
Sympathy and arousal cannot coexist. So when we tell you guys don't be fucking vulnerable with these bitches, I mean that shit, because they're not capable of being empathetic to your experience. So all they can do is be sympathetic to your experience. And they're not the same. When a girl's sympathetic for you, bro, she is not going to find you attractive anymore. The reason why it's called sympathy is because guess what? After she feels that sympathy for you, nigga, you're gonna have to start sipping, because she ain't gonna like you no more. That's the reality.
There's no such thing as a pity fuck.
Nope.
There's no such thing as a pity.
So stop crying in front of your girl. Stop believing the bullshit about be vulnerable with me, be soft with me, show your emotions. They don't know what the fuck they want, because they're not empathetic to your experience. They don't know what the fuck it takes to keep a man. So for you, you have to be the empathetic one, understand what women want, etc. Get in there, and then it's on her to become empathetic and figure you out. But if she don't, then she ain't worthy of it. But most girls, guys, standard hardware, they don't care about being empathetic to you because no matter how they behave, they're going to continue to get attention from men. So that's the biggest thing you could take away about female nature. They don't know and or care about your fucking experience as a guy. They can feel sorry for you, but they're never going to be in your shoes because they're now self-made millionaires like we are. They're fucking trust fund babies when it comes to the sexual marketplace. One more time. Women are trust fund babies. You're a self-made millionaire if you do the work. So they can't identify with your experience. Stop telling about your experience. Stop crying in front of them. They don't give a fuck and they don't understand you. And they really... man.
This is where I'm gonna end my video. Hit like, hit subscribe. Hope my channel gets to grow bigger than where it is right now, because if it grows bigger it means more exposure to people out there. I would love there are African people out there in my country Zambia, in Africa at large, to be exposed to the red pill, because like I usually say, the Western culture has penetrated Africa. And if we're not careful, if we don't get to learn about the red pill, it's gonna be as worse as it is in the West. Yeah. So hit like, hit subscribe, tell somebody about this channel. I'm sure in future I'll improve the quality if it's not good right now. But you have to start from somewhere. Yeah. Peace.